Some truths hide until someone dares to see them. This is VeilX TV.
Disclaimer. This content contains fictional, speculative, and AI-generated elements intended only for entertainment. VeilX TV does not claim any information shown as factual.
For decades, Antarctica has been the quietest place on Earth. No borders, no cities, no noise. But beneath the endless ice lies a secret older than any nation, any war, any recorded civilization. This story begins with a leak, a folder of encrypted files received by a whistleblower who called himself Argon. Inside the folder, coordinates, thermal scans, and a single phrase: Area 17 has breached Level 4. At first, nobody knew what Area 17 was. We knew about Area 51. We knew about Dulce Base. But Area 17, not a whisper, not a document, not a rumor. It was the best-kept secret in American intelligence. The coordinates in the leaked files pointed to a dead zone of Antarctica, far from research stations, trade routes, and even satellite coverage. A place where drones malfunction, where compasses drift, where radio signals vanish. For decades, multiple countries quietly restricted access without explanation. No flights, no overland expeditions, no satellite imaging. The official reason? Environmental protection. But the leak showed something different. Underneath 3 miles of ice, there was heat. Not geothermal heat, not volcanic activity. Structured heat, rectangular patterns, even spacing like a buried facility. The biggest buried structure ever discovered. Area 17 wasn't new, it wasn't modern. The first evidence appeared in 1958 during a joint US-UK seismic survey. Researchers recorded something impossible, a perfectly symmetrical void, more than 26 miles across. A cavern, but not natural. Its ceiling was smooth, its floor was metallic. Its walls reflected sound like polished stone. One researcher wrote, "It's as if something carved out the earth from the inside." A week later, the entire survey team vanished from the records. Their families received letters claiming they died in a helicopter crash. No wreckage was ever found. In 1983, a deep ice drilling program detected a strange radio frequency. It pulsed every 11 minutes, matched no known satellite, and traveled upward through the ice. The signal ended with a repeating sequence, 17, 17, 17. Every scientist who studied the frequency signed a lifetime non-disclosure agreement. The program was shut down overnight. The leaked documents say the USA built an underground access shaft using a tunneling machine not listed in any public inventory. Inside the shaft, they encountered a second layer of ice, much colder than the surrounding glacier, almost like engineered cryogenic freezing. Beneath it was something worse, a door. A metallic barrier, 20 meters tall, perfectly smooth, warm to the touch, with symbols no linguist could identify. The barrier opened only once. The document states, the interior activated in response to human presence. Those who entered reported a spiraling structure, metallic walkways, and a central column that glowed like an artificial aurora. But every team inside began hearing the same sound, a heartbeat. Not mechanical, not biological, something in between. They evacuated the chamber. The door sealed itself and did not open again for 19 years. Satellite data shows a seismic tremor isolated entirely within the void beneath Area 17. The door reopened on its own. A drone was sent in. The footage, leaked years later, showed a massive underground city-like structure. Entirely metallic, no rust, no decay, lights still functioning, air breathable and warm, and strange vertical pylons emitting low-frequency hums. The hums matched the ice-borne signal from 1983. One of the documents states, the structure appeared to be powering up. Another, we do not know if it is a machine or a habitat. Archaeologists were certain no known civilization could have built anything even remotely like it. No tools, no seams, no weld marks, no inscriptions that matched any ancient language. The metal alloy wasn't recognizable. Even stranger, radiometric tests suggested the structure was older than the ice above it, meaning Antarctica formed after the structure was built, meaning the builders lived in a world with no ice at the pole, meaning the structure predates recorded human history by tens of thousands of years, or longer. The final pages of the leak mention a classified program, Project Frostlight. Human interface testing. For 2 years, scientists brought in volunteers with unusual traits, synesthesia, high intuition, anomalous EEG patterns. The goal? To see who the structure responded to, because the facility seemed to react to emotion, light fluctuations, temperature shifts, vibrations in the floor. One volunteer stood near the central column. The column lit up. The hum deepened. Symbols shifted across the surface, then he collapsed. His final recorded words, "It woke up." The most disturbing portion of the leak was a time-stamped seismic graph. It shows rhythmic pulses from beneath Area 17, matching the Earth's Schumann resonance, matching solar activity, matching magnetic field fluctuations. The structure beneath the ice is syncing with the planet, and the pulses are increasing. When the pulses hit their next projected peak, the models predict an event never before recorded. One scientist described it as an engineered awakening cycle. Another, something buried itself under Antarctica, and it's waiting for a signal. 3 months after the initial argon leak, a second encrypted package appeared on a dark web server, known for whistleblower drops. Inside was a single file, F-17 Prime. It contained medical logs, psychological evaluations, and audio transcripts from one survivor of Project Frostlight's final mission. His codename was Subject Halcyon 3. Halcyon 3 was the only human who remained conscious inside the facility after the central column activated. He spoke of sensations no machine could cause, vibrations inside the bones, colors that made sound, languages he understood without ever learning. In one recording, he whispered, "It's not a structure, it's a memory." Another file contains his final evaluation. Subject Halcyon 3 exhibits increased neural connectivity, accelerated synaptic firing, and anomalous perception of electromagnetic fields. He claims the structure beneath Area 17 is not dead metal. He claims it is thinking. The government marked him as mentally compromised. But the logs reveal they didn't send him home. They transferred him somewhere called Site Mothlight. And after that, he disappeared. In 2023, earthquakes rippled under Antarctica. A physicist analyzing seismic patterns found something impossible. The structure beneath Area 17 was vibrating in perfect mathematical harmony with solar flare activity. Even stranger, each vibration occurred before the solar flare, as if the structure could predict the sun. When scientists reverse-engineered the pattern, they found a larger message encoded in the pulses, a mathematical signature that hasn't been observed anywhere on Earth before. The signature wasn't random. It resembled DNA sequences, star positions, and prime number alignments. It was as if the signal came from something biological and astronomical and intelligent. The physicist's final note, either this structure is alive or something alive is speaking through it. He vanished 2 weeks later. A leaked log reveals that in 2017, a multinational group of elite soldiers, scientists, and linguists attempted an unsanctioned entry into the main chamber of Area 17. Their names never appeared in public death records. They approached the central column again, which now emitted faint whispers, sounds too structured to be wind and too meaningful to be noise. One linguist claimed the whispers resembled proto-languages found in Sumerian, Vedic Sanskrit, and ancient Arctic cultures. As the team entered deeper into the spiraling inner chamber, they found markings on the floor. Not symbols, not letters, footprints, but not human, elongated, not curved, digitigrade, and fresh. Something had walked inside the chamber only hours before they arrived. The log ends abruptly with a final transmission. Movement. Multiple, not hostile, observing us. The audio breaks. The team was never recovered. The breach site was sealed. The chamber has not been opened since. Geological documents contained in the argon leaks mention a discovery that stunned every scientist involved. Isotopic dating revealed that the metal alloy used in the structure was 40,000 to 52,000 years old. But here's the real anomaly. The metal had no decay, no erosion. It behaved like a material immune to time. The builders didn't just construct a facility, they engineered something that exists outside natural aging cycles. One scientist wrote, "This material is not bound by thermodynamic limits. It is not a passive object, it resists entropy." Another wrote the most disturbing line of all, "This alloy remembers." What does that mean? No one knows. The scientist who signed that report died in an alleged ice crevasse incident. A classified briefing inside the leak identified what the government truly fears. But what lies at the center of the spiraling chamber? A sphere. Weightless. Impossible to touch. Scientists called it the chroma void. Something not found anywhere else on Earth. It reacts to human proximity, shifting colors and patterns resembling neural firing. One Marine from the Frostlight mission managed to approach it within 6 feet before collapsing. His final words were preserved. "It showed me the Earth without ice." Another, "It showed me stars I've never seen." The deepest military classification notes identify the chromovoid as exointelligence probe, status aware. If true, then Area 17 is not just a structure. It's a device, and the sphere is watching. Between 2015 and 2020, military logs show visits to Antarctica by top CEOs, former presidents, religious figures, private aerospace executives, classified defense contractors. Most were transported to a restricted zone within hours of landing. Publicly, the trips were described as research tourism. The leaked logs disagree. Visitors were brought directly to a monitoring station codenamed Aurora Gate. Satellite footage shows them entering a large underground elevator. Why would global elites visit the most secret facility on Earth? What were they shown? Why were religious leaders present? Or were they simply acknowledging something older and more powerful than their institutions? One leaked memo states, the briefings were not permission-based. They were informational, meaning these leaders weren't in control. They were being told the truth. The last documented activation event occurred in February 2024. Seismic sensors captured a pulse from Area 17 unlike any previous pattern. A broadcast, encrypted in mathematics but unmistakably intentional. When decoded, the message contained two components. The star map displayed constellations not visible in Earth's current sky orientation, indicating either a previous pole alignment or a future one. The countdown aligned with a known upcoming cosmic event, the solar micronova cycle. A sudden burst of solar energy. A planet resetting surge. Ancient cultures describe it. Modern governments deny it. But Area 17 seems to be tracking it. The structure isn't warning us, it's preparing. The last decrypted line of the transmission is the most disturbing message ever recovered from the facility. They return when the sky opens.